Hello sisters, I'm Maree Lipschitz and I'm Priestess Aphrodena, the resident priestess of the Temple of the Global Goddess in Sydney. And I'm thrilled to be here to tell you about our trip to Crete that we will be offering next year. Myself and my fellow priestess and temple guardian, Deborah Franco. We will be continuing to take women to Crete next year, following in the footsteps of our wonderful High Priestess, Anique Radiant Heart. Because Deborah and I went last year, and when we put our feet on the ground in Crete, we knew that we could so feel the goddess there, and we had such a profound impact, and it changed our lives. So we wanted to continue offering this opportunity for women. So Anique, tell us why you started taking tours to Crete.
My journey began with a deep interest in Egypt because I was born there, so it made a lot of sense to look at the ancient history of Egypt. But also, whilst I was studying, because it was part of my study that took me there, I was very, very touched and drawn by the Crete temples and the history of the goddess there, particularly because the priestess is clearly identified as a priestess in Crete, in the art, all over the place. So I decided that I would go to Crete at some point, of course. So when we make the decision, the goddess unfolds. So shortly after that decision was made, Carol Christ gave me the opportunity to travel with her as her sacred singer. And so I was able to experience Crete, led by an extraordinary, great goddess woman, Carol Christ. Tours are very different to the usual tours that you can find on the net.
I loved the singing and the chanting every day, the sacred practice every morning before we would set out, doing the ceremonies on the site. So of course finding out all the information about the sites from a goddess perspective as opposed to the Minoan perspective, I suppose, which is what a lot of the ticketed guides I could hear they were talking about. And then the ceremonies, which are so powerful, whether we did them on the site or just beside the site or at the water's edge, they really brought her home to me, and really, I could feel whatever I'd experienced that day at the temple, going in and really embodying that through the ceremonies. So I love that, and singing in the bus on the way home. So all of those things were just fabulous. And so what are some other aspects of the tour that you find, that are specific to going to Crete, which of course Deborah and I will continue the beautiful template that you've set up? Yes.
Well, I feel apart from the actual journey and the way that, I don't want to give too much away, but the way that I've structured the tour is so it takes you on a journey. Almost the journey of the evolution of the temples in Crete. In fact, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And I think also what's really, really different about this tour are the things about staying in the one hotel.
Yes, that was great.
So you're not always unpacking.
Yeah, we could just unpack.
The smallness of the tour that I've already talked about, the intimacy of it, but also the cost. It's really cheap. It's accessible. It's accessible. So included in the cost of the tour is all the accommodation, and it's private accommodation. You get your own room.
I know, that was fabulous.
Yeah, and I insist on that because if you can't process in between the days, then you lose out on something.
Yeah.
So that's important. You get the private accommodation. All the food, alcohol, drink, everything is included. Whatever you desire is included in the price. And so it's very, very affordable. And the fact that we're not moving around also makes it less costly. But more importantly is that you can stay in that grace.
Yeah.
Because it does change us. When we move from place to place geographically through time and space, it changes the energy. And part of the value of this tour is that we are building the energy in one place. In our little temple downstairs in the hotel, we build that space. Every time we step into it, it adds to the experience. So it's different in many, many ways, and I could talk forever about it. But I think primarily it's the singing, the ceremony, and morning and afternoon and evening practice, and also the fact that we're in one place.
Yes, and run by priestesses. So we're both ordained priestesses. Anique will be there. She is coming, bless her, to participate in morning and afternoon sacred practice and advise us on the day's activities. And so we're thrilled to be able to do that. And so, sisters, we would love you to come along. So please check inside. If you feel a calling to come with us next year to Crete 2018, then please email us and we can send you more details. Blessed be.
Blessed be.